Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for our keynote speaker, Fatih BIROL. Mr. BIROL, the stage is yours.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy that I am going to share some thoughts, and off-the-cuff thoughts with you. In the energy world, there are so many challenges, from the energy security to the affordability, from affordability to climate change and others. I thought maybe I take one angle and share this with you, namely the angle of electricity. There are two reasons why I choose this. One, I think it is very exciting, it is very new, some of the parameters, and it is important to share some of the thoughts with you. The second, I don't know if we have German colleagues here. There is very soon an important election in Germany, and some of you may know I am from Paris, where we are. I am not shy to share our modest opinions about the European and German energy policies, which is our job. So, dear colleagues, when we look at the history of energy, okay, started with the 18th century, when we had the Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution was fueled by coal. We have seen the age of coal dominating the entire energy picture. Then, slowly but surely, we have seen the emergence and now the dominance of age of oil and gas. And today, oil and gas are dominating the energy system, and they will be with us many years to come. However, when I look at the numbers, I see that the age of electricity is coming very strongly. And I am surprised that this is not well understood. Because at the IEA, we make our hands dirty with data every single day. I give you, if I may, a couple of numbers which may not be difficult to keep in mind. In the last 10 years, global energy demand increased, and global electricity demand increased 2 times higher than the global energy demand. But in the next 10 years, even with most conservative assumptions, global electricity demand will increase 6 times higher than the global energy demand growth. So 6 times higher. Again, to put in a context, between now and 2030, amount of additional electricity consumption added to the world will be equal to the current electricity consumption of the United States plus China put together. So US and China current consumption will be added to the global electricity consumption. So it is the reason we see the role of electricity is growing very strongly. What are the new drivers? Why we see such a strong growth in global electricity demand? Number one, in the industry sector, we see a lot of processes are now run by electricity for efficiency reasons. Second, for many of you, it may be a surprise, but globally, number one driver of global electricity demand growth is air conditioners. increasing number of air conditioners. In United States or in Japan, 90%, 9 out of 10 households, they have an air conditioner. In Nigeria, it is 5%. Indonesia, 18%. India, 20%. With the increasing income levels and increasing temperatures, people buy air conditioners, a very basic need, which in turn drives the global electricity demand growth. This is another driver. Third driver is electric cars. They are growing very strongly around the world, China, but other Asia, in Europe, and elsewhere. And fourth and the last one, we just heard from our moderator, data centers and AI, another important driver. Again, this week, in fact, President Macron organized a major AI summit in Paris. More than 50 heads of states were there, including Bundeskanzler Scholz, J.D. Vance, and others. The IEA's message at that summit was, there is no AI without electricity. Why? Very simple. An AI data center, a medium-sized AI data center, not a huge one, consumes electricity as much as 100,000 households consumes. And it's a medium size, and around the world, dear colleagues, data centers are coming one after another as a mushroom, like mushrooms. In the United States, in Europe, in China, India, Middle East, and elsewhere. They will need electricity, and they will need electricity 24/7, without interruption. So this is another driver for the electricity demand growth. Industrial process, moving to electricity, electric cars, air conditioners, AI, all of them means we are seeing a staggering growth of electricity demand growth and the age of electricity with us. Now, of course, this brings a few implications and challenges with itself. What are those challenges? I'll tell you a few of them. First, when we look at the power plants built in 2024 in the world, we look at all of them at the IEA, we have every single number. Of all new power plants built in 2024, 85% were renewables, solar and wind, 5% nuclear, and 10% coal plus gas. Why I am saying this is the following. When we look at the electricity system, renewables, especially solar and wind, because they are cheap and in many countries they are supported, they are variable source of electricity generation, which means their availability is depending on the, currently on the weather if we don't have the storage. On the consumption side, electric cars, you don't use the cars 24/7. You use it and you stop it. Air conditioners, you don't use 24/7. They're also variable consumers. So number of variable consumers and number of variable generation of electricity is growing. Therefore, it creates a challenge of finding the secure electricity systems. So this is becoming a challenge for the electricity systems, if I can summarize it briefly like that. This is one challenge. So we have many challenges. I will maybe tell you 3 of them, and plus highlighting one trend. The second challenge is the following, dear colleagues. Electricity, when we talk with the politicians, they think electricity is building power plants. This is true, but half true. You can build power plants, but if you don't have the grids, they don't mean anything. The world last year made a record installation of renewable capacity. We have never seen so much renewable capacity, more than 600 gigawatts. But now I come to the problem. 3 times of that capacity connected to grid is waiting to be connected to grid because we don't have the capacity, the grids. Power plant is there, you build the power plant, but you cannot send it to the consumers because there is no link, there is no grid there. This is economically insane. We are in the offices of the BMW here. It is something like you built the best car, very fast, very nice, color, efficient, blah, blah, excellent car, and looks very, very good, but you forget to build the road. Just like that. You build the power plants, but you don't have the grid. So this is a big challenge for the age of electricity, building grids and having smart grids. This is number 1. Number 2 challenge is the following. Electricity means, in my terms, copper. You need copper for the grids, you need copper for the transformers, you need copper for everything. But we are seeing copper is being squeezed in terms of its availability. And when we look at the numbers again, we see around 2030, there is a big gap between the investments made in new copper mines and processing and the demand growing, about 30% gap there. This is the second point I wanted to mention, and the copper will be, in my view, one of the most important minerals in the next years to come. Third point, and I stop here. So it is, I have to choose something, as I said, about not directly Germany, but in the German discussion context, which is about nuclear power. It is, of course, up to every country to decide which energy source they are going to use. And to the people of this country and the others, they should choose what they want. But I want to say, when I look at the world, I see that nuclear power globally is making a comeback, and a strong comeback. After the Fukushima accident, we have seen the appetite for nuclear die down, but it is coming back for many reasons, but mainly for, in my view, energy security reasons. I give you 3 numbers to support my argument coming back. As we speak now, 70 gigawatts of nuclear power plants are under construction. 70 gigawatts. Second, 2025, this year, will be the highest nuclear electricity generation in the world. We have never seen it since 60 years. It is going up, generation. Third, more than 40 countries around the world have firm plans and investments to build first nuclear power plants or expand their current capacity. And fourth, maybe, we made an analysis of 10 top SMR companies, scrutinize them, and SMR may meet the markets around 2030, first SMRs coming commercially. So looking at all of these things, I think one of the drivers of the age of electricity and its consequences is nuclear power. And I mentioned the AI, artificial intelligence. It is also one of the drivers of the need for nuclear power, and makes nuclear power, the tech companies, more investable as they have high credit ratings. I am finishing. So, dear colleagues, just to put it again in a context, we will see, in my view, the big chunk of the new power plants in the world will be still renewables. We will see natural gas also coming, but also nuclear is going to make a good comeback. And the countries, when they make choices and plans, they have to make their choices based on the security of their energy systems, affordability of energy prices, what it brings to their economies, competitiveness or not, and also, of course, addressing one of the biggest challenges of our time, climate crisis. And I hope Age of Electricity will address all of these issues in a good way for the betterment of our planet. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're going to stay.